Hello friends, welcome back. So today we are going to learn about proxy and proxy chains. Proxy and proxy chains are an important topic for penetration testing. If you want to hide your IP address from the blue teams and someone who wants to monitor about any changes into your activity. So let's start. Before understanding and going through the proxy chains, we need to understand what is proxy and how a normal web works, or how normally websites works. So this is a basic example how a website is working normally. For here we have clients. Let me use the pointer. So here we have clients. These clients can be your phone, laptop, desktop, anything. So when you want to visit, for example, facebook.com, you send a request through your browser to the Facebook servers. They gather the request and then they return a response to your browser and you can get the website. That's how a normal website works. So here you can see, here the clients are sending a request to the servers. The servers are addressing it and sending a response back to the clients where we can get the website. Now let's come to what are proxy servers. A proxy server is a software system running in a computer or any other hardware, acting as an intermediary node between an end user, that means your client, your computer or mobile, and an internet server like a web server, a hosting server, file server, anything. So this is the main purpose of a proxy server. Here you can see a typical example of a proxy server where the clients are sending a request to the proxy server and the proxy server is forwarding the request to the servers, and the servers are sending the response back to the proxy servers and proxy servers are redirecting the response to our clients. Now if someone in between tries to intercept the traffic from the servers or want to log your activity, then they will see that the request is going to a proxy server, which is not the server you are visiting or not the website you are visiting. So your request is going to the proxy server and also the response are coming from the proxy servers. So that's how you are getting anonymized from any kind of monitoring on your server. So our ISPs basically logs our traffic and also the request which we are sending. We can use these proxy servers to hide from that kind of monitoring. Now, what are proxy chains? A proxy chain is a tool that forces any TCP connection made by any given application to go through proxies such as Tor or any other SOX4, SOX5 or HTTP proxies. It is a chain of proxies to run any program through a proxy server. So what are these SOX4, SOX5 and HTTP? These are different kinds of traffic which we are sending from our web browser or from our system to a server. Now, what is the main difference between proxy and proxy chains? Proxy chains basically tunnels all traffic to a system to run through a proxy server, whereas proxy only tunnels HTTP connection and works only inside the browser. For example, you can take burpsuit. Burpsuit is also an example where a proxy is used for intercepting the traffic between you and the request you are sending to a server. So that is an example of proxy, and proxy chains are just a tool used for tunneling all the traffic from your system to a particular server, proxy server. Now let's move to the practical session where we will see how we can set up the proxy chains inside our Kali Linux. Now here I am inside my Kali Linux. Now what you need to do, proxy chains are installed or pre-installed in the different penetration testing distros, and now if it is not pre-installed in your system, you can just type sudo apt install proxy chains 4. Now it will be installed if it is not installed, and if it is installed then it will be updated. Okay, so here it is pre-installed in my system. Now you can type sudo nano /etc/ ProxyChains ProxyChains4.conf. Now here you can see here is a code written. This hash basically means this is a comment where our interpreter will not use these lines. These are just for our information. Now here we can use 4 types of chains: dynamic chain, strict chain, round robin chain, and random chain. Why this is used? Here in dynamic chain, each connection will be done via chain proxies. All proxies chained in the order as they appear in the list. Dead proxies are skipped. That means here you have to provide a chain of the proxies or a list of the proxies, and if there is any kind of dead proxy, then it will be skipped. In strict chain, only the approved or the given proxies will be used, and in round robin chain, this also skips the dead proxies and uses only the online one. In random chain, it will just pick up the proxies from the list you provide. Now here, if you come below the script, here you can see, here are an example given, SOX5, and here is the IP address of the proxy, here is the port number, and just the user and the password of the proxies. Now for setting up the proxy, first we need to install Tor. For that, type sudo apt install Tor. We will use Tor proxy for anonymity. Tor basically uses onion protocol for hiding our IP addresses. Now let's get to our script. Come below the line. Sorry, but before that you need to enable sudo service Tor enable. So don't enable it, just type start, because we will not use this very often. Now for checking your status, you can type sudo service Tor status. Here you can see Tor is active. Now let's get to our script. It's here. Come below the script, and here we need to provide the IP address of the Tor browser. Now let's use SOX. We will not use SOX4 because SOX4 are not currently used. We will use SOX5. First comment out this line. Sorry. First comment out this line and tab SOX4 127.0.0.1 and 9050 Tor port. Control O. Come above, and here we need to enable prevent DNS leak or proxy DNS. Okay, proxy DNS is enabled. Now come above, and we will not use strict chain, we will just use dynamic chain. So just remove the hash from the dynamic chain, Control O and Control X. Now here you need to type ProxyChains Firefox, and Firefox will start. Here you can see Firefox has been started, and now you can type DNS leak test. This will check for any kind of DNS leakage through the IP addresses. But before that, change your search engine to DuckDuckGo, as there is some securities in Google and they will not allow you to do this stuffs. DNS leak test, and you can also type here my IP to check your IP address. See, this one is my IP address, but this one is not from India. It's showing, I guess, yeah, Germany IP address. Now you can start the standard test for DNS leakage, and let's visit and check our IP address. And you can come here and see numerous numbers of proxies are used. Here you can see our ISP is showing Cloudflare and country is Germany. But I am from India, not from Germany, and here our proxy chains work perfectly fine. Here you can also check your IP address, and here you can see it's constantly changing. See, it's constantly changing our IP address. So we are just hopping from network to network, and just we can, with this method, we can trick any kind of monitors on our IP addresses. Yeah, so that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section, and press the like button if you like and enjoyed the video, and if you learned from it. We will meet in the next lecture.